The Utah Shakespeare Festival opened its doors in 1962. Now more than 130,000 people attend each year from around the world. We're here in Cedar City to give you a behind-the-scenes peek at this year's Utah Shakespeare Festival experience. Our first stop is a visit with Fred Adams, who founded the Utah Shakespeare Festival 54 years ago. We talked about those early days on the stage of the Adams Theater. So Fred, I love being in your house.
My house.
Your theater,
Welcome.
the Adams Theater,
Yes.
and I can't believe you started out with folding chairs and a little tiny stage.
We did. Just a platform.
Yeah.
And over the years, 12 years it took to before we built this, and then it took another 7 years before we built the whole circle. It took 7 years of raising a little money and then putting in this and raising a little money and putting in a little more. It's now considered one of the major arts organizations and jewels in the Intermountain West.
Definitely. And you did it, Fred.
Well,
how did you start with this dream?
Let me say, my wife and I did it to begin with,
Okay.
but actually we didn't do it. It was a cadre of just remarkably talented people that I had the common sense to hire, and then just kind of get out of their way and let them do it. And designers that come in and do marvelous things on this stage and design costumes that are just breathtaking, and just leave them alone.
And how many people come now?
We'll play to 130, maybe 140,000 people a year.
Wow.
We'll have every state. We'll have people from every state here.
Well, they come from across the world.
They do, and then 12, 13 countries every year. The BBC, the British Broadcasting Corporation, came here to film, and they brought Royal Shakespeare Company actors with them. So, you know, we've had some high points here.
A lot has happened here. Okay, and didn't you come here and stand here and present that Tony?
I did. We had the entire company, and we took the Tony and handed it. So every single member, all 400 members of the festival company, were able to be handed the Tony.
Received
the Tony.
Okay, and what was that like? Would you say that was like the crowning achievement of your career?
Yes.
Getting that Tony? Unbelievable.
Because there was no way in the world that a little community in southern Utah with 28,000 people could possibly ever achieve the Tony for best regional theater in America.
And you did it.
And we did it.
You did it. Next, I sat down with Brian Vaughn and David Ivers, artistic directors of the festival. They talked about all the events festival goers can be part of during their visit to Cedar City.
We really look at it as like a full immersion into theater and life and nature and where we are. You know, it's really, this is destination theater essentially. People have to travel here more, other than our local audience. But so part of that is having stuff to do, which is seeing the shows, as well as just sort of celebrating all that's around here. Every morning as a post-show discussion from the show that they've seen in the previous afternoon and evening, for the audience to get a chance to discuss what they've seen, talk about how it relates to them now, currently, what the productions are like. We also have actor seminars, backstage tours, prop seminars, costume seminars, all of that, plus a free green show, which is a celebration of music and dance and art and theater and all that prior to the show. And then, of course, the plays that we have, which is really the epicenter of what we're doing here, which is a celebration of performing arts.
This is a cultural vacation to promote a literate citizenry and to continue to engage with storytelling, which is primal. I don't know how one could choose not to have a terrific time. You can be busy from 9 a.m. till 11 o'clock at night, including an experience over lunch with our curtain call lunches. You literally can be immersed while you're having your enchilada, in more conversation about the plays. This theater has the most unique and special relationship to its constituents and to its audience of anywhere I've ever been.
Let's talk about what's on the lineup this year at the Shakespeare Festival.
Well, in our outdoor space, in our Elizabethan Shakespeare Theater, we are doing 3 plays by William Shakespeare. The first is probably his most famous comedy, The Taming of the Shrew. And then we are doing a history play, Henry IV, Part 2, and probably his greatest masterpiece, tragedy, King Lear.
And jumping over to the Randall, we are presenting Rodgers and Hammerstein's wonderful timeless musical South Pacific, and Peter Schaffer's Amadeus, and then Brandon Thomas's Charlie's Aunt, the beloved farce. And in addition, we also have 3 new green shows that are outside on our green show stage.
We also have 2 offerings that are coming in our fall season. We are producing one of Shakespeare's earlier comedies, The Two Gentlemen of Verona, and is about young love, essentially, and friendship. And it is a very lighthearted romp, but also very rich in meaning and about people coming together.
And then Stephen Dietz' adaptation of Dracula in the fall seems like a fitting time for us to do it. It's a very episodic script and moves very quickly, and I think will be a treat for our audiences. So 8 shows across the board.
This is obviously the last time you'll be in the Adams Theater. It's going away, but you've got this incredible new center coming up. What's that transition going to be like for people? How's that going to change their experience?
Well, I hope it will improve their experience, really. That's been one of the key elements of the whole project, was a better patron experience, more comfortable, more contained, more accommodating, and on top of that, there's a new theater that we're building, 2 new theaters, a studio theater, 200-seat flexible space, as well as our new Elizabethan space, which is going to be more accommodating for ADA compliance, as well as comfort, without sacrificing any of the current actor-audience interplay that happens in our current space. And on top of that is also an art museum for patrons to experience while they're here on the grounds. We will still have our green shows and all of the same things, but it will be within a 2-block radius where people won't have to cross the street, and it will be a more engaging, livelier, and intimate experience.
The center itself provides a level of excitement for the region and beyond. I think our focus will always come back to, it doesn't really matter unless what's happening inside of that center.
That content. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think for us, in addition to all those things, it gives us an opportunity to focus in a new way on our storytelling. In a new environment with the added benefit of knowing that our patrons are taken care of in a different way, so that the focus can continually come back to that real estate that contains the play. You know, and what it will allow us to do in terms of program. Calendar rollout, you know, do things, how do they look different? What's it like to see a play you've seen here for 54 years, you've seen 9 productions of X, Y, or Z, and now all of a sudden you're seeing it in a 20 by 20 black box theater, a Shakespeare play, you know what I mean? That's compelling, that's really exciting, and I think for us, that's going to be front and center.
Fred Adams is excited for the new complex, even though he'll miss the old theater.
It's been a warehouse of memories, and and we'll miss it. We'll miss it. You'll notice that I
Look, you're
get
tearing
just
up,
a little.
honey.
I get just a little weepy when we start talking about it's coming down, but it will come down. Yeah.
And something will rise.
Oh, and something magnificent will rise just across the street.
I'm at the construction site of the new home for the Utah Shakespeare Festival. Now that you've had a taste of this year's festival, it's time to go online and get your tickets before the season ends in October. You can go to bard.org for more information and to buy tickets. I'm Mary Dixon for Contact in the Community.